told you that there is a correlation between certain milestones and a team's chances of winning a Super Bowl.
Do you believe in the Super Bowl hangover curse? Almost every team that has lost a Super Bowl has suffered misfortune the following season.
It's only natural for NFL fans to get excited if their favorite team or player wins an award or leads the league in any significant category. But over the years, we've come to realize that reaching a specific feat or winning a specific award could actually doom your team. Here are 10 cursed NFL stats that your favorite NFL team or player may want to avoid. Winning League MVP Award. This award almost always goes to a quarterback, and considering it's the game's most important position, you'd think there'd be a long list of quarterbacks who've won the league MVP and the Super Bowl in the same year. In the 21st century, however, winning league MVP honors has been a total curse. Consider this: Kurt Warner is the last player to win the award and the Super Bowl in the same season. And that was back in 1999 when he was with the St. Louis Rams. The thing is, there's actually a long list of MVP award winners who went to the Super Bowl but fell short in the big game. So the moral of the story is, if you want to win a Super Bowl, stay away from that MVP award. Super Bowl runner-up. Yeah, it's always heartbreaking to see your team fall short in the Super Bowl. But the even more painful part is that unless you're the Patriots, losing in the big game usually dooms you long term. In the Super Bowl era, only a trio of teams have won the Super Bowl 1 year after losing in the big game: the 1971 Dallas Cowboys, the 72 Miami Dolphins, and the 2018 New England Patriots. And just look at how many teams over the years have fallen apart since losing a Super Bowl in the 21st century. The Raiders, Steelers, Bears, Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks, and Cardinals are all on that list. All those teams failed to get back to the big game, and some of them unraveled completely. So if you're not gonna win the big game, you probably are better off not even making it in the first place. Leading the NFL in passing yards. This one really doesn't need much explanation. Want to know why? Well, it's rather simple. How many quarterbacks in NFL history have led the league in passing yards and gone on to win the Super Bowl in the same year? If you answered 0, congratulations, you win! Sure, individual stats are nice and all, but any quarterback would tell you they'd prefer winning championships over individual accolades. So maybe these coaches and offensive coordinators should do whatever they can to make sure their quarterback doesn't lead the league in passing yards, even if that means a couple extra handoffs in Week 18. The 300 Carries Club. You don't see running backs put up 300 carries a season too often anymore, and that's probably a good thing. The more carries a running back gets, the more prone he is to injury. Too many star rushers have hit a wall well before their 30s over the past decade and a half. That's why it's not the worst idea for teams to use a two-back system if they can. The numbers seem to support that argument too, because when a running back carries the ball over 300 times in a season, he is bound to regress big time the following year. As ESPN.com outlined in 2017, the 300 carry club was not kind to 5-star running backs. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He won the rushing title in 2016 with 322 carries. Then he saw his yards per game and yards per carry drop in 2017. He won the rushing title again in 2018 with 304 carries. Then his numbers dropped once again in 2019. Most 300 carry running backs will see a major drop in their yards per carry the following season. This really isn't rocket science. Teams shouldn't be giving such a heavy workload to one specific player, especially at the position where they're most vulnerable to injuries. Coaches would be wise to put a cap on their running backs' carries each season. The numbers prove it. Losing to Kirk Cousins in the regular season. Kirk Cousins has gotten a lot of hate over the years. His statistics have always been good, but the lack of playoff success has largely hovered over his otherwise stellar career. But for championship hopefuls who think a regular season meeting against Cousins is just another game, think again. That's because Cousins has been the secret weapon to ending a team's Super Bowl hopes time and time again. As noted by VikingsTerritory.com, a team who loses to Cousins in the regular season and qualifies for the postseason that same year does not go on to win the Super Bowl. This applied to the powerhouse Green Bay Packers in the 2016, 2020, and 2021 seasons. Not to mention, Cousins' Vikings also stunned the New Orleans Saints in the 2019 NFC wildcard round in overtime. Bottom line, if you can't get past Cousins in the regular season, then kiss your Super Bowl hopes goodbye. Passing touchdowns title. Ah yes, another quarterback-related curse. What more can we tell you, folks? If you're a quarterback, no MVPs, no passing yard titles, and definitely no touchdown crowns. Again, it's a major curse that the game's elite quarterbacks just cannot break. Drew Brees is the last quarterback to win a Super Bowl in the same year he led the NFL in passing touchdowns. And that was more than a decade ago, during the 2009 season. So yeah, having a superstar franchise quarterback who can light up the scoreboard throughout the duration of the regular season is great and all, but if it doesn't result in a Super Bowl, is it really worth it? Number one scoring offense equals Byebye title hopes. Maybe it's because we've become enamored with Madden video games and fantasy football, but most of us can agree that high-scoring games are way more fun and entertaining than defensive slugfests. But the whole defense wins championship saying is actually quite true. If you want to win the Super Bowl in any given year, you should prefer having a lockdown defense over the league's top-scoring offense. The last team that led the league in points scored en route to a Super Bowl championship, the 2009 New Orleans Saints. Only 4 teams in the past quarter century to win a Super Bowl after leading the league in points. You get the idea by now. If your team leads the NFL in scoring during the regular season, don't get your hopes up for a championship. Winning the rushing title. Yeah, we know. How annoying is it? We already warned your favorite team's quarterbacks not to lead the NFL in any significant passing category. Now we're warning your favorite team's running back to not lead the league in rushing. I mean, we don't really know what else to tell you, folks. If you look up the list of NFL rushing champions by year, you'll see a lot of big names and several MVP winners. Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, Ezekiel Elliott, Adrian Peterson, and Derrick Henry, and so many more. But folks, Terrell Davis is the last running back to have won the rushing title and the Super Bowl in the same season. And that was way back when in 1998, during John Elway's final season of football. Emmitt Smith did lead the NFL in rushing for each of Dallas's 3 Super Bowl championship seasons in the 90s, but that was Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time rushing leader. And that was a long time ago. Henry won 2 straight rushing titles in 2019 and 2020, and the Titans didn't even get to the Super Bowl. Not only is your favorite team cursed if their lead back wins the rushing title, but they're actually even more likely to be either one and done or out of the playoffs entirely. Winless preseasons doom you. It's easy to dismiss the importance of NFL preseason games. Teams are mostly trying to figure out who their second and third stringers will be, and the starters rarely get any playing time. But we're actually here to warn you, football fans, to actually pay more attention to your team's preseason, especially if you're superstitious, because since the 1983 season, any team that has gone winless in preseason play has not won the Super Bowl. That's right, the last team that lost all of its preseason games and won the Super Bowl was Washington in 1982. They dropped all 4 exhibition contests, but cruised to a Super Bowl title in a shortened 9-game season. And kicker, Mark Mosley, by the way, was named the 1982 league MVP. So we won't fault you for putting a big asterisk beside this championship. The 1990 Buffalo Bills and 2000 New York Giants also went 0-4 in preseason play, but the Bills lost a heartbreaker to the G-Men in Super Bowl 25, and the 2000 Giants were demolished by the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl 35 10 years later. Every single Super Bowl champion these days has won at least one preseason game. Coincidence or curse? You decide. 2,000 rushing yards. Only 8 players in NFL history have rushed for 2,000 yards in a single season. The list is O.J. Simpson in 1973, Eric Dickerson in 1984, Barry Sanders in 1997, Terrell Davis in 1998, Jamal Lewis in 2003, Chris Johnson in 2009, Adrian Peterson in 2012, and Derrick Henry in 2020. But hitting the 2,000-yard mark means one thing. You are set up for massive progression the following year. In January 2021, Michael Fabiano of Sports Illustrated shared this chart. It tells the whole story. Just look at the numbers. If you hit 2K one year, you're almost lucky to get half of that the next. But what other cursed stats should your favorite NFL team or player try to avoid? Join us in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.